So what happens if your claim is allowed for a soft tissue condition but disallowed for right shoulder rotator cuff tear, but between the time that you filed the claim and the time that you have your, in this case, this full commission hearing on 7/1/2025, you've subsequently passed away for whatever reason, presumably not because of your right shoulder injury. In this situation, that's kind of, you're done essentially. So in this case, so this was a full commission hearing on July 1st, 2025. And what ended up happening is, I think the employer appealed it to the full commission, and it might have, and it was only allowed for right shoulder sprain. And so the full commission, again, they allowed the claim, they allowed the claim for the sprain of the right shoulder, but they disallowed it for the right shoulder rotator cuff tear. And then the other issue that was up for grabs was temporary total disability. But what they said, not only is temporary total disability not payable to the injured worker himself, but because of his death on 3/22/2025, but it wouldn't be payable in any event because of the lack of evidence in the claim file. So what would, and the reality is, what happens if you, and that, that's kind of a weird result because you usually don't run into this situation, but let's say this guy had died, and he had, does he have any recourse? Well, the claim dies with him, so his claim is done. If he had a spouse or children and he had died because of the conditions allowed in his claim, then they might have what's called a death benefits claim, but it would have to be because of the allowed conditions in his claim. And for example, let's say his claim was allowed for a right shoulder rotator cuff tear, and God forbid he has surgery that's allowed in the claim, and he ends up passing away during the surgery for whatever reason, then obviously the death was a proximate result of the surgery, which was necessitated for the right shoulder rotator cuff tear, and then they might have potential death benefit claim for that reason. But in this case, if this individual, it doesn't look like he's entitled to any benefits anyways, but let's say it was allowed for the right shoulder rotator cuff tear, and he might have been allowed, he might have had TT benefits or something. The issue would be, if he died, did he die because of, a heart attack? Well, the heart attack is not an allowed condition in his claim. So his TT would have finished when he died. So again, there would be no benefits for the spouse or the children in that example.